Hi, this is Emily. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about a book that I have just completed. It's part of my Hopeful 2021 series that I've been doing, where I put hopeful quotes in the inside the book, and then I have various themes. This particular theme is Jane Austen, just simply because I'm really a fan of hers. These roses are 3D on the top that I added. The book itself came from a thrift store, and what happened? It came like this, as a set of 3 books that were already put together inside this little book cover kind of thing. But you get a good idea of what the wallpaper pattern is that they used. So I've been wanting to use these for for making some of these journals. So the Jane Austen theme comes about because I have always loved all of her books. I've always been a fan of her work, and find her to be inspiring. So the book itself is 8 3/4 by, let's see if I can figure out what the width is 7 inches, and it's like a three, maybe just a little bit over a 3-inch spine. It's got 3 signatures. Each signature has 12 half pages, or in 6 full pages put together. And I've used just a variety of Etsy sellers who have Jane Austen themed books. I'll have who those are in the description box below. So the book, the main thing that I really love to use when I'm making these books is a lot of texture. I like the pages to be completely full of just an interesting combination of mostly laces and fabrics and 3D kinds of things without making it too thick. This particular paper pack that I used is actually stationery that I found at the thrift store. You can kind of get an idea. It's the kind of stationery that you buy like 25 sheets of the same. And then I used a lace that I found at the thrift store that kind of goes with it, has the same kind of a theme. This is it. It was $3 for 10 yards. I don't have very much left, but that came from the thrift store, and I've been using that. Also, the way I layered this was I took a piece of lace and put it around a piece of fabric, and then I glued it down, and then I added a trim underneath or on top of that looks like this to the bottom, that also I found at the thrift store that I've about used up. It was $1.25 for 7 yards. So you can kind of get an idea of why why I would pick it up, because it's just so cheap. It's got gold, and then it has pink on either side of it. And so that is underneath here. And then these flowers, the way these flowers came is they just came in a big bunch like this, all wrapped up. But if you took it apart, you would see these really pretty little dainty, fluffy flowers that have a kind of a pearlesque inside. And I just could not, I got it thinking, well, I'll use it for something. And so it's sitting in my drawers for a year or more. And then finally this book came along, and I found a way to use that. And then I put roses on the top of that, and a few apple blossom leaves. So that's the 3D effect here that you get. Most everything that I use in my books is from this thrift store that I go to. But these roses I did order off of Amazon because I needed just the right thing to go on the top of this. It was so much to go with. This book here, the spine here, is this piece of fabric that I found, or trim, and I mean, it was 4 3/4 yards for $2.50, and I have yet to find something to use it for. You know, like I say, I buy these things thinking that, you know, I don't have a particular purpose for them, but they're so pretty that I feel like I can certainly use them. So for the Jane Austen, I thought that it would be a nice trim to go on the side. Then it's got lace here, and then it's a pretty thick cardboard, and then this kind of wraparound loop through. This is actually trim, blue hem tape, and a blue, well, 2 different kinds of hem tape, a lace hem tape and a plain hem tape, and then this is a twill tape that I used. So we can, that will tie around the book. So the book itself has 3 signatures with 12 pages in each, so front and back you've got 72 pages, and most all of the pages are thick cardstock material, and use just a number of different Etsy sellers. This is a collection of postcards. My father was a postcard collector, so when we took all of his things up, and you know, I ended up getting his collection of postcards. This right here is what we call thoughtful cards. This particular one says hope. I got mine at a cake store because it's something that people can add as an extra something to their. And I've got these. I will put these. These will be interspersed throughout the book. I've got dream. I've got wish, hope, and this one is smile. This is what it comes like in these boxes like this. I'll have the information in the description box below. But it's $6.95 for 30 of these, and they each have a theme to them. So when I look at the first, this is the thickness of the first, you know, of the first signature. I actually added, as an extra, not signature, but an extra addition, I added a pocket here that holds those postcards, and that hopeful card. The front here is a picture of a desk of Jane Austen's that her father bought for her, and here's the information about it. All of the laces are from the thrift store. This group of flowers here, that I added one of these. I had found them in a clump at the thrift store. Then here's my hopeful quotes throughout. Let's see, I have about 40 plus attachable positivity quotes, and then 15, an extra 15 are detachable. And I've added some lace here, especially in front of some of the artwork that is done by the Etsy sellers are just absolutely beautiful. And again, I will put them in the description box below. This is actually a heart. I made several different hearts and put a quote on the back. I stick that down in here. This is an Elizabeth Kubler-Ross quote, and so I put that in here, and then here's a detachable tag, an eyelet sort of trim on this pocket here. This is actually decorative paper that I just put in between each or so, you know, every once in a while. It's that handmade paper, and it's got the I just think it's so neat how they actually have the leaves from the green in there, so you'll find them throughout the book. And I did use that particular quote I put on here with a dried piece of fern. And then the pages that I used for the book came from a book of quotes, and the book was called Passages, and it had, you know, just a nice quality paper, and it has famous quotes, but they're not necessarily positivity or hopeful quotes. This is a piece of lace that I got from a friend who was going through her old trunks and found a bunch of her aunt, great aunt, and her mother. They had this huge collection of handiwork. The old home place I came from, that a lot of these old things came from. A lot of spinsters lived there. And this is a Tsunami Rose. And so they had just lots of drawers of different papers and different patterns and different partly put together items, tablecloths and napkins and collars that you put on, you know, on garments. This is a quote that's actually a sticker that I put right here. And then this is an actual bookmark, and it's made from, or it came from a book of Bargello images, and so I just put it in there. Here's a circle that I got from Zazzle of Pride and Prejudice. This paper here, the front and the back, is actually one of Jane. She wrote a lot of books, not just the 6 novels, but another book that she wrote was The Kings of England. And so this one is about Charles the something. I can't read that. But this is Tsunami Rose, and this particular, the inside of my books, I use different things for, and you know, to combine the scenes together. And this one is a well, I can't say the word right now, but corset. That's what it is. Interesting 3D lace here. This is Tsunami Rose's kit, things to do. This is the back side, and this is Henry V. And she actually drew the pictures of the different kings of England that she, and I actually, I mean, I went on and put it in the book that I, you know, just, the book is not in the public domain, so I had to use the actual copy of the pages. There's probably 25 different pages. I didn't count these because they're just for decoration, but there's probably 25 pages that can be journaled on throughout the book. There are around 50 removable tags, and here's 3 of them right here. This is a tag that I made. I added an Oscar Wilde quote. This is one that I did an experiment where I took fern leaves and mashed them against the fabric to see if I could get an imprint. And it ended up turning out brown, so I just did a zigzag stitch in kind of a red color and put a heart that I made out of newspaper or newsprint, and it has a little charm on it that says believe. And these are 2 more quotes. This is the guy, C.M. Brock or H.C.A. Brock. I'm not quite sure what his initials are, but he did all of the illustrations for many of Jane Austen's first novels. So those pictures are in the public domain. Here's another, what was a postcard that has a picture of a woman decorating her flower vase. And this is an interesting postcard that came from her book Northanger Abbey, and it's about Marianne going to and looking in the library of the place that she went and visited, and the library was so old and dusty that it had spider webs coming off of it. So I just thought that was kind of comical. More pockets. This is an experiment that I also did, taking a tag and putting just a variety of different textures in it, using just whatever I had, pieces of lace, pieces of fabric. This is some Aida cloth, and then some pearls, part of a collar. So I just kind of added a bunch of things to it. This is one of those detachable tags that has, that I put together and put an eyelet and a bulb pen there, joining it together. 3 more tags from some of the sellers, Jane Austen. This is a little needlework that I did on that pocket. And then these, I just love to look through magazines and books and find pretty pictures and put them in. This is actually a quote from an Etsy seller called Poppiness. Here's another one of those thoughtful tags. This is a pocket that I put together using pink grosgrain ribbon, and a couple more tags from I think that's Tsunami Rose. These are actually some of those C.E. Brock or C.M. Brock. This says C.E. Brock, 1895. So, you know, Jane Austen died in 16 or 17. So after that, after she passed away, and I guess her brother started publishing her books, they got C.E. Brock to do the illustrations. Isn't that a pretty picture of during the Regency period when Jane, this came from Deli Girl, 1961. These are some of those famous quotes from the journal. These are, journaling pages that, in addition to the ones that I got from the book passages, this is actually another set of that stationery that I found at the thrift store, where you take, make multiple copies of a say you're sending out a letter to a group of people. This is from Artie Mays, her old London paper pack. Again, another piece of lace here. Piece of page of flowers with a quote on it. More journaling pages. More lace. More of the C.E. Brock pages put on a paper pack. This is another detachable tag with the bulb pin and the eyelet. And this is actually a little tuck spot for it that I added some lace and some sari silk and a piece of doily there, dotted throughout. This is where I took and pleated a piece of silk together that you could burn the edges and did a decorative stitch on it. And these are actually little cards that I ordered from Wish. I don't know if you know about Wish, but here's an example of what they look like. And it's called Mo Card. And this says Childhood Gallery. And this is called Walking Town. And this is called Mo Card Walking Town Childhood Salon, maybe? So it's just different pictures of, I guess, pictures from children's novels or children's books. And this one was kind of a rectangular shaped, and this one was an oval shape, and I pulled some out and put them in the book to share. In case you ever run across an interesting quote, I've added about 10 pages of these. And here's another C.E. Brock. Here are some more of these that you can put on any quotes that you might find. And this is a pocket that has an old advertisement and just a book that's called The Repository of Fashion, Elegant Colored Engraving. And it's from Ackerman's, and it was published in 1829. And I just put a picture in there. So this is one of my favorite colors. This is kind of mint green. This is a Jane Austen quote. This is a quote from Barbara Kingsolver. She is an author. She wrote a lot of books. She's written a lot of books. Her most famous probably is the Poisonwood Bible. And then another one of my hearts that I did a little handiwork on. And on the back it has a quote. And here's another Jane Austen tag. Another one of those detachable tags that has a quote on it, plus the bulb pen and the eyelet. And this is another one of those detachable tags. And I've put music in there, old music. Just some beautiful pictures in these sets if you're interested in that era or period of history of which I am. And I really enjoy Jane Austen. I enjoy reading about that period in England's history. I just enjoy British literature anyway. So these are some more little tags. A piece of sari silk around lace and some stenciling. Some more pages for journaling on. Another detachable tag, piece of lace, and another picture from that period of history. And this is the center of the last signature, and I put a rose in there. And just really enjoy putting together these books and looking at all of the different Jane Austen designs that are for sale in the Etsy store. This is actually a piece of wallpaper. More tags. This actually could be a pocket. It's got a Jane Austen quote on it. It was too wide for this book, or it could be, used as a tag. Some more of that. I just really like this paper because it has some of the actual design of the green leaves in them. And so that about covers it. Of course, we know Jane Austen, Emma and Pride and Prejudice are the ones that are the most popular. And of course, a lot of those of her stories have been made into movies and remade into movies. This is a watercolor that her sister did of her, and it's a picture of the back of her, and the information is right there in this. And on the back of this little extra add-on is a tag. Some people say it's a Jane Austen, but who knows? We don't really know what she actually looked like, unfortunately. Well, lots of lace, lots of fun. I get a lot of pleasure out of making these books. So again, this book will be for sale in my Etsy store. It's called Yesterday's Stash. Appreciate your coming along and watching this video with me as I continue along this journey of creating junk journals using my stash. We'll talk again soon.